Everyone and welcome to the final round of 16 match of Roulette Rivals 17. And after 7 matches, not all of them so close, we have reached of course this final one, after which there will be only 8 players remaining. And the 2 players here today are the number 1 seeded Quatilyti, the last player to be, well, not quite the last player to be undefeated, since of course someone has had shorter Swiss stages, but he's 6 for 6 and the best player after the 6th stage. And he's playing the 15th seeded Lord Munk with one of the more exciting tournament paths and actually career paths with all his forfeits and missed tournaments and missed matches. But this should be a very exciting matchup. Very curious how it is going to go. And really nice to have GK Punk as the co-caster with me. Hello.
Hello. It's a very exciting match, and like you said, the history of the two players. Obviously, I think we had some conversations about like the way this KO stage is set up. The first round is supposed to be a slightly easier match for the higher seeded players, and obviously Quatility being the highest seeded player, and played all 6 match, won all 6 match. Like the point differentials between the two, like 36 points won from Quatility, and I think Lord Monk played 2 matches and only have 11, 6-2 win and a 5-5 draw.
Yes, and an 0-6 loss to Pijero, but yeah, very. I think he has had all kinds of results: the forfeit wins, the forfeit losses, the not quite skipping around, but not as much of roulette played as Quatility, who is, well, scored the maximum amount of 6 points, scored the 6 points on all 6 of his matches, and he's looking to continue that with any margin, I guess, in this first to 8 matchup. The match will begin in Mendoza in 30 seconds. It will be as all other knockout stage matches before the final. It's first to 8 with 2 map picks from each player. Quatility is the first player, or player A. So his picks will be the first and the third map. And we will go to Whittleton Creek and Mumbai as second and fourth, before hopefully up to 4 random maps. But we will get to the map picks and a bit more about the match, I guess, between the maps. Until then, we have the first spin here, Punk.
Yes, so we have Dawn Yates with a neck snap as Corvo Black, Tamara Vidal, Jarl's Pirate Saber as the waiter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it kind of screams waiter right at the start, and we see both players are starting off this way. The saber is an on-map item, is it, or you have to bring it?
It's an in-attic item, and kind of so you can do the funny thing and bring it in your agency pickup and be placed it next to the actual pirate saber.
Right.
There is the argument, I think, for so many spins between Waiter and Asado. Do you want to deal with Tamara immediately or make her sick and then watch her timing in the bathroom? Or, of course, with Asado, you have the option to just forget about her before the 3-minute mark. It does feel a bit more tuned to Waiter starts. I'm personally not 100% convinced. At least I wouldn't say that both starts would also work, because Waiter is so close to the Sado start. Tricky for Quati, getting into this chest passing area, but gets out as well. I'm not sure if he actually is late. I think he wanted to catch Tamara at a better spot, but ooh, this is kind of risky there.
Wow. Yeah, very risky, but seems very confident about that guard's timing. He's turning now. Oh my god. Okay. Doesn't see it through the little gap, because I honestly don't know how their vision cones work between cracks.
Yeah, kind of worked out. But also it was so risky for Monk, who in the meantime KO'd Tamara on the stairs. I think the bottom half of the stairs, and Tamara flung a bit further down below, so I'm still holding my breath, because this could be Rentgens in the next 15 seconds, but after that maybe Monk has barely gotten away with this.
Oh, I don't know about this egg toss. Oh,
Probably catches one. but still saves it with 1 KO, no insta wake up, and from different approaches this is still so close, but Quati is missing Dawn actually.
Looks like has Trank. I thought maybe he has a Seeker for turning him back, but guess Trank will have to do both guards, and then yeah, Valentina makes it. You have to go for the 2 Tranks.
Nice done. Momentary red guns for both players. Curious to see, there is a scream on Monk's end, so one guard investigates. Oh, and
It's
that is
over.
gonna be red because Monk only caught
Umbrella.
1 guard, yeah, and the other
Yeah.
was a red umbrella. So an almost tied map is now a huge quatilyti who will now pick up, sadly not his agents pick up, but the natural saber.
Good to see. I don't know. I mean, the set times, it really isn't a time save because you got to put it out of the briefcase, which might be longer.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, at that point the main difference is actually picking it as part of your loadout. Although I do want to say that one advantage of the saber in a briefcase would be the actual briefcase, because Quati now has to make very specific turns. Maybe take this waiter, but he cannot be in public as a civilian disguise. But it's a non-issue with the waiter here.
Yeah, this seems very simple now. It's just gonna look at the floor for Diana to teleport.
I was gonna say that if he picks up the car keys, then it would have been even closer. It's finicky, but consistent that you can go through that exit and that broken frisk on both sides. But Quati will have to go to the main exit. No Tamara there. I'm not sure where she was, because we really haven't seen her in a long time, so I guess the other trigger for Diana not to teleport is if you are somehow too much in instinct before the kill. I'm not 100% on that though.
Oh, there's a what was that error there from Lord Munk? Yeah, it's a long walk. Probably would be around the same time as the tango, so no harm done. Like
Yeah,
you said, if you take Dawn's car, otherwise it's pretty much the same.
yeah, the only Quati could have pressed done earlier, but he needed to keep green guns for about the same time. I guess that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the trade-off is you get to see your green guns, but don't get to press done.
Yeah, and especially in these high stakes matchups, Quati definitely is nervous. Or I can imagine both players are nervous. You do wanna be certain about any exits there and not wait for that agonizing tango. But nicely done by Quati. Could have made the difference if that exit wasn't available for him, but was for Monk. But we never got that because Don ended up screaming. So 2-0 up quatilyti. So yeah, as we said, I think very briefly before the first film came out, that Quati is 6 for 6. It's undefeated, number 1 seed. The last time the number 1 seed went on to win the tournament. Obviously, it's a sample size of 1 with Scruffy going all the way, but there's a short list of tournament favorites, and I think quatilyti is one of them. He has always been one of the best, but this might be his first real shot at going to the final and even farther.
Yeah, definitely. Quatility has looked really good, and I think we had like shared some of the interview questions, like some of the gameplay alterings. Certainly something I have noticed, and it's nice to see because the strategies have evolved, and seeing the players' style, like little micro changes in how they approach stuff, it's really nice to see. And Quatility is certainly one player you can pick out old matches and look a new match and see the difference.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pinpoint like the number 1 change, but generally looking at Quati, he is still as fast as he always has been, but he has been one of the more entertaining and chaotic players, and while that is good to see, it is harder to be a player with that style because you often end up ripping, and I
Yeah.
think Quati has simplified a lot of his gameplay while keeping his speed and yeah, always changing his
I, yeah,
approach.
you're right. I think it's like the turning yourself from that chaotic fast into a roulette player, which is a very it's becoming more and more difficult to reach that high skill level as a fast roulette player because before you could be a consistently good like we saw when Dane Nomo started. He's like if you restart against him, it's basically over.
Yeah, his first tries don't always get the job done, but they certainly help. So we'll see if that happens
Definitely.
for these two players in Whittleton Creek. The second spin of the match is Janus Fall as police deputy, and Nolan Cassidy, remote explosive weapon as mailman. Remote Nolan, that always opens up some approaches. But then again, Janus Fall really closes down some approaches, so I think it will just be Janus first.
Yeah, there's I'm not like dedicated Whittleton anymore, I guess, but I feel like a lot of spins just Janus first, and this one definitely is. It's uh, lots of shuffling from the Lord Monk here. Quatility is going for this pose deputy by the construction work.
I haven't seen this one, and not with the black either.
Yeah, I would have expected the Bleg on the mailman.
I'm really curious though. I think there will be some need for
Well, speaking of chaos,
sedatives.
here's we
Wow.
see some from Quatility trying to lock down Janus.
I think that's just a triple shot on the outside guards.
Oh
Or
yeah,
one is gonna say one of the outside guards, but both of them catch it, which I think is intended. This is a really close to full whoosh, but apparently always gets the job done. And not always gets the job done because Monk has caught chest passing, but from the other side. So that was someone from inside Janus' garden. I was so much to experience. We'll have to see Monk's second approach. He gets these guys here, but I am not really sure who could have got him if they are down.
oh yeah, definitely going for the different disguise here. Yeah, no panic.
Ooh, the
Oh, the
triple
guards
shot
are
is
back for
sparing.
Quatility.
I think it's really difficult because I don't know much about these kind of panics, especially this complicated, but it was a triple shot turned into a full target lockdown, so I'm not that surprised that they reroute. Of course, lots can happen in the game. I think he's managed it now.
Yeah, he's wow. Okay, cool. Lots of knockouts later, and Janus propping the door open. No chance of his body being seen while the final subdue happened.
Oh, one more bullet impact, and I don't know who
Oh,
will turn which way, but green guns for quatility. Against all odds, it almost feels like.
yeah, just maximum chaos.
Monk, I think, could have nicely caught up, but the second half of this isolation also took quite long. Now, not sure which window he will drag Janus to, but he could get this kill in the next 15-20 seconds. Still quatty by 30, if I want to say something. They are both going bathroom, which I don't even know at this point. I think both windows can have troubles. He's not distracting anyone. And he is indeed
Oh,
found at the very end of the animation.
Death feels like an easy way out for a man like him.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't fully matter from who, but red guns means you need to restart. I think he was contemplating whether it was the body or some other KO gone wrong, but it's red anyways.
right. Yeah, lots of questions to ask. Hopefully, he knows which one. Oh, what body
Quatillier,
found?
uh, it was a very dark picture-in-picture. I was watching my stream back 10 seconds later.
I, I tried to like think about which one that would be too. Yeah,
And who is unsure as well. I think we all are. It's darkest in the basement, but I mean, these kind of accident kills usually end up
Wait,
being a
do
trouble.
they drag his body down the basement? Through the basement?
With 4 kill, I'm most certain that they do. With the...
Because didn't he knock somebody out for the security device?
Oh, I really don't
Possible
know.
it's that one.
I,
I don't.
I guess one more conspiracy theory is if the deputy goes changing, but no, he goes change to Helen's house, so that can be... It's kind of getting a blur because this is such similar gameplay from both players, and with lots of chaos, mostly upstairs though.
If Janus was its founder, perhaps he's still attending.
Quatility
Oh,
did change things up.
This could be
that was really sketchy though for Potty because this guard is being lured here while the door is still open. But now the regular guards are down, so one Gunter KO remaining and Janus himself.
This seems so much better with less chaos, though, other than that little bit of scare.
It's true.
Which window would be safer? You said both of them have potential for spottage.
I am really not sure. I think you are better off in the microfilm room, but I have also ripped to it by just being careless, and I wouldn't be able to tell you which guard to lure. I think the one at the shed could see the body, so if you turn him, you are always good. But then again, you're always good if you turn this guard, which Monk just did. Or tried to. Yes.
Screen guns this time for both players after the Janus kill, so looking much, much better.
Good progress, and what he had to dodge that enforcer really closely, but luckily no bushes there.
Well, he has one more. This one you just have to wait. Both players managed to pick up the same Janus bodyguard disguise too.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Quati not risk this one. I think he has a silence pistol, so he could have shot behind the Janus guard, which is a bullet impact, but then followed by a KO. I suppose he's just wary of the fall and doesn't want to KO anyone. Yeah.
This could be valuable information indeed.
This is gonna be really interesting. I think Quati's side is now definitely safe. I didn't pay enough attention to Monk to see. He has bodies KO'd, but I think not in the basement.
Sir, there's something you need to take a look at, please.
Oh, and Monk has the mailman running to Janus's house.
Okay, I'll deal with it now.
I'm not really sure why. Oh my god, this is
Oh my
crazy.
god!
That's surely not gonna work. One more distraction for the final guard, but I guess other than that, it's a clear street. If Monk gets away with this, I mean, for now he's fine,
No
but he needs to be
way.
fine for 3 more minutes. Or-
The runner.
Oh
or
no. Yeah, that's
Does
true.
she not go through the street?
Well, he's on the other side of the road. Oh, body found already.
That's yeah.
This doesn't.
He's gonna go knock out the person who found the body.
I think
No.
he had better, but I think he's just gonna focus on finishing this round quickly. And Quati with a rake.
A rake, yeah.
Well, it's not a sedative kill, but it's a green gun KO. So that will definitely work out. That body won't be finding anyone from Janus' house. And this chaotic Whittleton Creek might be finally coming to a halt, because with this timing, I think Quati is just one garage and 2 clues away from finishing, but with Monk's in-game time, he will be the first one to get this garage ISO.
This will be one of the most chaotic Whittleton Creek finish if we get Monk with those bodies. Like, knocks out the front house guard. I've never seen that.
Who thinks of that one as being the idea to save the situation? I think any other player would have just checked where the mailman would run to. Nice launch by Monk. I'm not sure what item that was. But seems to be fine. I'm still not calling GG, though he is ahead. Needs to stay green for another, I don't know, 45 seconds.
Yeah, definitely something in the back of your head that those 3 bodies. There's quatility skill done as well.
And with Monk routing not so optimally, the lead has shrunk to say about 10 seconds or so, and that's a bullet distract. I don't think that's a problem, but needs to go the long way around. And now the red gun by probably the jogger half a cycle later. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Another close match just gets stopped in its track. We won't get to see how close it would have been.
Mu is certainly relieved because that was gonna be a 4-0 finish, but yeah, I think a second try versus second try with a Munk lead of about 8 to 10 seconds. But now it's a quatilyti win by a lot. 5.5 minutes of in-game time. Very chaotic Janus kill and a 4-0 lead for quad.
Yeah, from a gameplay perspective, I guess it was a good thing that a chaotic gameplay like that didn't get rewarded with a win, but how cool it would have been if it did as a perspective, like a viewer.
Yeah, it is do not improvise hours for now, because quad is triple shot. But we don't quite know why it failed. I think it's gonna be a big VOD rewatch to be exactly sure what happened there. But that was one risky play by Quati gone wrong, and then the one risky play by Munk is the K on the mailman also gone wrong, sadly.
Yeah, I mean at least the quatility strat from I'm not familiar with it, but it is a strategy that made by people. But the one Monk did, I don't think anybody's been like, there's a video on it. Take out the front guard to get the mailman.
Yeah, it's Roulette Resources mailman, the Plan C version, or
yeah, panic him
F.
so he goes to Janus's front door so he can knock out the guy with the shovel.
Yeah, the only downside is you have to finish before 4 minutes in game time, apparently.
Yeah, good. We might want to put a Blunts and Beats mailman route video in the footnote.
And I'll be
or
honest,
not mailman, the jogger. Sorry.
That's fair, because I think for mailman there might be some actually 5 or 6 year old picture now. He ends up going to the party at around 8 minutes, and you can see which way he goes. I think he gets closer to the nurse at 6 minutes. It's never ever useful information for roulette purposes, but someone mapped it out before, but never the jogger, so hopefully that's gonna be next.
Yes, yeah.
Bangkok next then. Did one quick peek to Monk's player page on ourstats.currymaker.net, and he has played 10 matches and 40 maps, and 18 of the 19 maps, and that will be his 19th, his first ever Bangkok, and I think self-described comfy map pick by Quati, if I can find his answers to the interview. Yeah, Bangkok is also my comfy pick, like of course the previous one, Mendoza. It's working out for him so far, no matter the short or longer maps. Quati in the driving seat.
Yeah, that sounds good for quatility, being up 4-0 going into your comfy pick. Just put yourself on autopilot mode and secure the match point position. Yeah,
and Quati expects this could be a very fast one, where the first one to load in wins. Very meta load out there. Let's see if the spin in Bangkok supports that.
Oh yeah, well, we have Jordan Cross silenced pistol as Jordan Cross's bodyguard, and Ken Morgan falling object as kitchen staff.
That is fast, but then again, the second cycle or any type of Ken kills. No, this will be very fast because it's a very quick kill for Jordan. You will catch Ken in the restaurant. This could be even, sorry to say that, but record potential.
Yeah.
I hate to say this though, but Quati has brought an ICA pistol, and I think that's as big of a mistake as you can do in Ambrose when you bring the ICA. It will be heard by NPCs, while a Kruger will not be. So it's a Monk lead, I want to say.
Wow, that's a great start of the analysis there. Oh, he's gonna go for a KO. That will be quiet, I guess.
But there's the question marks on the minimap. Quati needs to look in instinct. Someone is coming to the booth. Quati will
look at your map.
Oh, and there it is.
It's over. Yeah.
Okay, but how about this one? Monk with the Kruger, but misses and gets red in the end, because I think he shot the glass of the sound booth. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can see the bullet on the side there. of the window. Oh my god. Well, no lead for now. Quatility still has the ICA gun, not switched to the prepping the kitchen staff disguise.
Yeah. That's not the way I would prep it. I would either Jank, which, I mean, you have the loadout for it if you swap the firearms, or I would box, because I think with a KO he can get found. I guess that's for later. Munk gets almost red guns on that first KO, or the second KO rather. But if he takes this very easy shot, he should be back in the lead. Nice first try.
Target down. Next up, Ken Morgan.
Yeah, Quati has given up on the booth hill, which I think TimeCube asked, and he was already answered, so never mind. If the recording session is officially over by calling it quits, if Jordan says it's over, then it's over. Then he won't get found anymore, but if you are too early, then he will get found at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which, to be honest, with this spin, you will be exiting before that, or you could be exiting before that, but Monk gets compromised by the second Jank shot. Oh god, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, Monk didn't play enough COD before this match, and the little rusty aim is costing him big time. Missed shot on Jordan and then on Dexy. Also a bit unorthodox, but I guess that was to avoid the enforcer.
The Jank on Dexy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was kind of being boxed, and I'm not even sure what Dexy would be doing. I think she would go back to the frisk guards and restart her whole speech, so Monk would definitely be trapped by her. I'm not a fan of either kitchen staff chaos, but maybe I'm just oblivious to some nice new findings where he will not be found, but I think that could be a rip for either player still.
Yeah, we will see. I guess Quatility's letting Ken move a little closer towards the bathroom he wants him to go to, which I guess in this case is the restaurant one.
Quat is gonna use all his... Oh. Okay. I think the blue egg is definitely a good idea. Stops the most often gotten NTK for this kill, but which chandelier you will shoot quatility? And Monk could game something here even faster. Quat gets the second kill and no NTKs. Monk has only dropped the durian. He could get this kill, but I think that will kill Otis.
NTK, yeah. Oh, maybe.
This one will work out now. Stays green, but unfortunately he's too far from an exit.
Now head towards an exit.
Yeah, it will be a photo finish, but a Quati win. There's the end. There's the in-game time I was gonna talk about. Like, this could definitely be, if done first try, challenging the 240 something of Dane, I would say, the record holder. But one restart on Quati's side and 2 on Monk's side will settle the third map as well.
Yeah, getting the tail end of photo finish. It's not looking good for Monk. Still a bit messy Bangkok from both players. It's whole match has been chaotic so far, and we're heading into Mumbai with more moving parts, or more parts to manage with the targets.
Yeah, with potential to be the most chaotic map of the 4, but usually if you hype it out this way, it will just be a straightforward first try from someone.
Yeah. maybe not then. Let's go with more chaos.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe that should be a new complication. You must do all the chaotic shots.
Yeah, well, I think it's just better viewing.
Or like you have to use like at least X amount of triple shots in every spin.
That would be easier to enforce at least. I would be theoretically down for that one maybe. I think we are inching towards either a wave or a quick photo finish call, because Monk's 3 loads will very unlikely amount to close to 24 seconds, which is the official difference. And then we will go to Mumbai, the 6-0 lead.
Only good part here at this point for Monk is we're backs against the wall, but we're at your own map pick, so this is the time for the comeback and good place to be in your own map pick. I think Monk mentioned Mumbai was actually just a strategy pick for quatility. It's according to Monk is what his lowest win rate map pick.
And that would be correct, because I guess we will spoil the next scene, but makes a lot of sense to do that. From 8 plays, Quati has 2 wins and 1 tie, so that comes out to 5 losses, and only a 31% win rate. Quati, of course, now one of the best in the community, has 50% or higher on all but 2 maps, the only 2 exceptions being Hokkaido and Mumbai. Actually a reasonable count. Not that I wanted to suggest that Punk should wave because he knows his loads better, but it was a respectable 18 seconds across 3 loads, which would shorten this difference to 6 seconds, but it would be a win of at least 6 seconds by quatility, so he takes Bangkok. There we can see the difference in stats. Of course, not immediately obvious whose stats you would take here, because Monk's 100% is of course a lot higher than 31% of Quati, and the PB is better. And actually that's very impressive. Sub 6 Mumbai on his only play in Mumbai. Meanwhile, 2 wins for quatility has a bad IT of 11 minutes. I think that would not be enough, but you know, maybe another prediction that will go wrong.
Yeah, let's hope that thing works out for Monk, and then we'll see the next map, which I won't spoil yet. I spoiled this one because I fear we're going for it anyways.
Oh yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. And I'm happy to just always talk about future maps. It's what the players are preparing for. I guess we can't not talk about what we're seeing on the screen. I think this is an R16 invention by Dane. That's an actual...
What, this is if body's invisible?
That body is now hidden after being tossed outside of the balcony.
Oh.
But then I'm not sure... I guess you can make it reappear. But I think you're just
I think
caught into
it's
dragging.
like the Mendoza thing, right? When you do it over the balcony on the roof, it becomes hidden. Like only 47 gets seen, the body never gets seen.
Yeah, it's still an illegal action, right?
Yeah.
But the body
So
itself...
if you drag it... Oh, it's an all weapon spin. You should let us know.
Yeah, I was gonna see if there's any immediate implications for this balcony, but not with this firearm. It's the Maelstrom Silent Sniper Rifle as Holyman, Vanyasha Loud Pistol as the Thug, and Downdragon Silent SMG as the Painter, but no target specification. Oh, this could go either. Basically, all these guys are close to the targets. It's a comfy Dawood first if you want it, a comfy Skywalk first if you want it, or and Vanya won't be trouble either. I think the Holyman is just too good to pass out.
Yeah, Holy Man, and then no target pacification complication not being a thing for Maelstrom makes this just too good to pass up. This is we'll see quatility right away. Oh, Lord Munk starting in the tower?
Yeah, before we finish saying how good this would be. Oh, but he's using the wrong
Dorian
item.
toss.
Yeah, it's you must use the, well, I call it the Ambrose Grenade. I'm sure there is a better name for that, but
No, it doesn't have a better name for it, Info Fun. The name you have is better.
Oh, that must be such a shame. I think that was just a restart. Yeah, second try for the Urian. I mean,
Oh,
I think it
okay.
will work out after the 4-second delay. Nice.
Yeah, that. I guess the durian is legal, so that it kind of appeals to you more. I do like the instant impact of the quote-unquote Ambrose grenade, which I think is called the emetic gas grenade because there wasn't another one called the same thing.
Oh yeah, the grass grenade, grass device being
Yeah.
entirely different items. Munk will restart, unfortunately. So many disguises you could be going in there and just get the 2 free KOs. Well, easy KOs rather, but the Dancer is trespassing, so the canvas could be a guard and a shield for only so long. Oh, and that's gonna lock on his head.
How many attempts? I think I mentioned this with the in a different. How many attempts before you switch and think? It's as a player when you play. When do you think is the right time to do that? Or in your head when you feel it? I guess thinking I think isn't really the right question here.
Yeah, I think it's tough because I think Monk has, practiced a decent bit for this match, but probably hasn't played so many Bangkok spins, and maybe he has never considered using different items for this one strat. It worked the couple of times he tried tower, worked with a Urian, but now in a match, of course, it all goes so wrong.
Yeah, speaking of going wrong, more things. Oh wait, maybe not.
Okay. You need to catch him. That's a Bollywood story right there. There's no better way around it.
He's
No!
gonna fall and survive. That's 100. Oh no, he's
No.
not gonna survive.
It's a kill pain. I think I've seen it somewhere. Like,
Oh god.
you go it past. You go past that and you die. And same for 47. I think you can glitch out somehow in the elevator and just drop to the bottom and die. But in other elevators you would survive. But Monk not even getting lucky with this one either.
Yeah, that. Jeez, Monk definitely has. Take some of his clips and send it over to Bollywood. They can probably make a movie out of this film, this match.
Yeah. Sadly,
What was that?
bit more tragic currently with trying to open it with the right amount of bullets.
You need a bullets left for the kill too.
Oh yeah, it has to be silenced. I was gonna say you're just still a loud one.
I guess he gets ammo if he steals a weapon, but
Oh, that's fair.
at least he got the non-panicked version of the distraction this time.
Yeah, he's kinda in the open, but once he jacks him back, I think he finally has disguise. And ooh, so Quati gets the kill. Live silences MG Painter with, I think, the Thug Peekaboo. I'm not even sure if it's gonna be a double Peekaboo. I'm not the right person to talk about even a single Peekaboo, but that's just what Quati did. And he's one Vanya kill away from finishing. Oh, that's gonna be a restart. I mean, yeah. The triple shot / target lockdown on Dawood turned the outside guard to exclamation point, and I think he would go inside anyway, but in the off chance that he stops outside, maybe you wanna try it out, wait it out.
Yeah, Monk didn't think to do that bathroom. I'm not confident about that. It's probably one of the worst places to do. And Monk's bad luck continues with the shots, but at least gets the door open much easily.
Yeah, not really the thing you usually want to get a feel for it, but I guess he's getting experience at this kind of improv as well. Ooh, I would jack the guard though. So if Monk gets the headshot first try, he will have this first kill down. Huge lead for quatilyti, who mostly missed it, but actually mentioned when the kill happened. After Skybox start, he took a thug disguise and went to the tower to peekaboo Dawood. And it's gonna be a lockdown again, but only a double shot.
Is confirmed killed. No rest for the wicked, however. On to the next one.
And there's the second half of the peekaboo strat for Quati, which makes it probably the first time the double peekaboo has been used in a match. Oh, Monk still stays alive. But one more enforcer to dodge, and that's barely red. The first one was so close. I thought he would get away with it, but the second one not really.
Oh no.
Quati into combat with the... Well, I think this is kind of the 5-second jewel as well. It wasn't an instantaneous combat. But it was quite close to the checkpoint guards.
And he walked in front of them instead of maybe going through the container to give himself some additional time.
I think I understand the vision because it was only enforcer dodge to dodge. Oh my god. That's Monk. Yeah, makes me go speechless there, but I think he's kind of giving up on this strat, but it feels like it's the best one to do. Oh, and in reality it would just, you know, so many other stars to go for.
The infamous Maelstrom is dead. Very well done, 47.
Yeah, as Guerrero says, Ro just sent Skywalk.
On to the next one.
Maybe he thinks it's just too good to be true. Wants to get the Dawood kill out of the way, but I think we've never even talked about this, but later on in the spin, I think Monk will also have his own difficulties finding the Holy Man later.
Yeah, even this part doesn't seem very solid, so honestly, abandoning it might be a good idea at this point, especially that you get a lifeline now from quatilyti restarting. Obviously, that's something you're unaware, but it has been almost 10 minutes of this one attempt in a 6-0 situation.
Yeah, I think like when things go well, Monk can really nicely execute the spins and finds the correct strats. I think even like more often than some other players. But you also need to be able to switch up the strategy when it doesn't work out, and I have lost count 7 minutes ago, but this would be like restart number 10 for Monk.
Yeah, I think Moo is probably right with the... you probably won't do this with a fresh mind. You would have the instinct to just swap strategies. Monk is too dug into this and trying to make it work. I think it's more about getting this to work now than finishing the map.
Yeah, sending the message that I can get started on this map with this strat. As I think Moo also said, he is also 6-0 down, and of all the 6-0s in history, only one player has came back. We talked about it a couple hours ago, was Joker against Nezuko. It's a very specific matchup, but otherwise it's just such a difficult hole to cut out of.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all of this, the number of restarts as it grows, the confidence level will likely go down. And really love to see this run go through, but quatilyti is chipping away, so not sure if he's gonna get a chance to get out of the tower.
This could be one challenge for him.
Oh!
But this is something which Deadly Muffin Man has never had to worry about, because he has so low frames. He gets them KO'd before the NPCs turn around. That wasn't the same for... I think Monk is still green though. Monk is still green though. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was. Oh my god.
But he had to finish up the Quati sentence. It was a quite tough situation with the Blag, and the NPCs turned around and faced Quati, but barely the animation started kicking off before the whoosh bar field. And a lock on. I don't know if Monk is just... I don't want to assume much, because we never really talked about Munk, but he played 2 tournaments, and this is his 3rd one, and he always takes huge gaps between tourneys. so I don't even want to assume that he has the Ambrose grenade. But it would be the best strat, as Quati gets red guns during the silent SMG kill, so it doesn't seem like it, but these players are even if, you know, Monk gets his head down, which is really hard at 06 down, but he could find himself in a lead.
If I don't finish it, Drunken will kill me. If I do,
Yeah, definitely. I was just trying to. I can't gather my thoughts about the things I was gonna say. Oh, Monk's tournament. Yeah, so I was very surprised to see Monk's first tournament was RR7, and I did not expect that. So the gaps definitely track there with the.
Yeah, I think it's 7, 14, and 17, and it's gonna be
Oh no!
another
Not
double
again.
shot.
No rest for the wicked, however. On to the next.
Yeah, but this is another thing where a spot where Monk has ripped several times before, so why not take it a bit differently? Why not
Yeah.
subdue the Bollywood bodyguard so Dawood doesn't see in his line of sight? So many things that you could do differently, and at this point it's just at one point I will have to say it's the player not being able to adapt is definitely what costing him this map.
I agree 100%. I think it's fair to say after 13 minutes in the same attempt with I wouldn't say there were that many potential of this workings, and he's made it even more niche now with that distraction shot through the glass pane on the door.
And this is still the first skill of the spin. I wouldn't be able to tell you how long the Monk's approach would be, you know, 7 minutes or 9 minutes, but definitely the first quarter or the first third of the spin. With so much left to do. Who's asking if Quad should adapt? I don't think it would apply to him, or I was gonna say it wouldn't apply to him because he did quite well on a strat no one has really used before, but I think if he gets this Dawood kill down consistently, then fine, go ahead, just do this chat, even if most of us
Yeah.
didn't agree with.
Yeah, I think I guess he should adapt if this stout kill doesn't work here. But if it does, it just vindicates his strategy, and he'll just continue to move along and just slow it down on the Vanya kill.
Yeah, there's the adaptation. Quati
Oh,
leaves
yeah.
the tower with the painter disguise. Will pick up any thug he wants along the way, probably one with the generator. And I think, yeah, I love seeing new strats, but we might end up having a better in-game time than the previous one, or something very competitive.
When are you gonna be done mixing those colors?
I wish there was some way
Oh,
to do
Monk was a bit chaotic back and forth, but gets this, guys.
All right, let's hope he gets the shot this time and gets out of this. Just take it easy. Take a deep breath before taking this. He
Nice.
didn't take a deep breath, but hits the shot.
Question mark. Need to drop any item, which is illegal, and that happened.
Oh,
So Monk is off to the races. Did he hide both bodies? Yeah, I think he did.
he didn't hide Dao. Did he hide Dao?
Oh, he tried to hide the guard twice and succeeded on the second try, so
Yeah.
it was 2 animations, 1 body hidden. That's something else I have had troubles with in years ago, so I'm not sure if someone will latch on to Darwin and fight him at 8 minutes and 45 seconds in game time. But I would have hidden him.
Yeah, that would be so heartbreaking if that is the reason this run gets stopped in the middle while Monk, for the first time, is getting out of the tower in almost 17 minutes of the spin.
And I think we will get the answer to Monk's most burning question. where will the Holy Man be at 2.5 minutes, or 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, or wherever he finds it?
I've marked the
Yeah.
headquarters of the Crows on your map.
Might as well get the letter so you get some blue dots over potential suspects.
Oh, and the barber picture, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right, isn't the Holy Man once? I don't know. The suspect set might be RNG too. I'm not too sure about. Oh, he found the Holy Man. It appears.
that's good news. But he's not a mission story NPC. He's not really scripted to self-isolate like actually the Taylor does after a while, after the conversation. So how long will you wait? I think eventually he will go to the same place where the Maelstrom is caught from Charles Start.
Yeah, speaking of like routes, did anybody make his route? Maybe you need to look through that real quick to just see the video length, how long his cycle is.
Yeah, it's still being rendered in some rendering program. Quati's second kill will happen now. The red guns is on purpose, and the first try headshot from him
Nice.
puts him one target away from advancing to the quarterfinals.
You don't find this awkward, because I find it very awkward.
Yeah, it's not gonna be ideal for Monk to isolate him, which
Oh.
will be the reason finally to switch his
Wow.
start. It's not the different type of rips from Dancer's start, it's the inability to find the Holy Man. But after that, the replan is not to skywalk, but to barge.
Yeah, that's very curious. So, not to mention like the trigger that gets you to switch your strategy, but then switch to the barge and heading back to the tower anyways.
I can see this be sensible if, for example, Monk had a very similar spin in his practice where he thought barge start and tower first kill, getting outside the tower at 3 minutes will make him find the Holy Man easier. Because I think, to be serious, the Holy Man does depend on which start you choose. So maybe it's going to be easier for Monk. It's going to be a different start and different timing, but I don't think we will see it come to fruition because Quati is now at the final isolation of his spin.
If I don't finish it, Drungan will kill me.
Yeah, just waiting for Daoud to get in position.
Will be dead to me.
It's all about how risky you want to take, and I think Quati is aware that the spin has gone on for too long. He cannot afford. He can technically, but he really doesn't want to get another 7-minute restart in here. We're gonna take it very
Yeah,
safe.
I think so. 100%, because I think he would have tried the Daoud kill if he wanted to afford or want to do another restart there. Daoud sees the coins.
I would really like to see that would get a bit more outside the range of the taxi driver, but it seems like he will exit before the guards catch up and before he had turns or anything like that. 1950 is the RTA. Quatility gets a very scrappy Mumbai win, but a very impressive A2 sweep at the same time. So it's gonna be bittersweet for sure.
Yeah, and one of the most bizarre, chaotic match. Every single map had something crazy going on there, even though on the surface most spins looked very, very bare bones.
Yeah, I agree. Because Nolan remote can falling object, you all really done next snap. It all just invites you to a simple, fast approach, but they want it to be fast. Not necessarily simple, but fast for sure. Be faster than the opponent. And that caused some restarts. Probably... No, Quati first tried Mendoza, but yeah, everything else had a couple more restarts, so it will be a very interesting quarterfinal for Quati, and for that I will go to the brackets page. And interact and show the chaos stage. What happens if I zoom in? No, I can't really do that, can I? I'm not gonna mess with the scene, but we can see that Quatility will play Yanini in the first of the quarterfinals. And we have our final 8. The official tally is 5 of the round of 16 matches ended up being sweeps, which I think is not what we expected after RWC 24 and R16, which had closer matches. But, you know, this could mean that the best of the best in terms of matches will happen from now on, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I think those matches look just crazy, like, and potentials for round 3 matches too, like Quatility versus Yanini could mean we could see Yanini versus Infrafun again, or Alf versus Quatility, and just those matches already look crazy. Gregory versus Nezuko. I watched Nezuko's match; he looked very clean. And Moo Scruffy, oh my god, what a match that is going to be.
I'm debating how long I should be talking about this one, but I think this could be worth
We
a
can have a
couple
whole
of sentences.
podcast.
Yeah, but maybe I'll raise someone else for that. But yeah, the top half would have Quatility or Elf as brand new grand finalists, Yanini a grand finalist after RR5, which would be, checks the calendar 4 years ago, so an absolutely insane comeback. Or I guess I would be the boring option, but I also haven't played in a final since early last year. And then the Moose Scruffy rematch, which it always ends up being, I think, one of the most hyped up matches. And it delivers on the gameplay front. But Scruffy has been consistently outscoring Moo. Not necessarily outplaying, but outscoring. So we'll have to see if Moo can do anything in this particular matchup in a couple of days. And then Gregory or Nezuko-chan will be a semi-finalist for the first time in their careers. And probably the dark horse semi-finalist to do some, not miracles, but some upsets against whoever wins from the other quarter. I guess that was my very, very short recap here. Very excited about these 4 quarterfinals.
Yes, some banger matches, as the kids would say these days.
I was gonna say that obviously we can't have all 4 quarterfinals scheduled if we only found out the 4th one right now, but to be honest, I'm not sure if Yanni has pre-scheduled with both players, but Yanni has pre-scheduled with Quatility, so they kind of are familiar with the mobs already. But the 3 dates are known, and they are all for Monday, 7th of July, so little under 3 days from now. It will be myself versus Alf first, and then Gregory versus Nezuko-chan 2 hours later, and then Moo versus Scruffy 2.5 hours later. So that will be, I guess, a manic Monday. Not sure how to alliterate that better.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially.
Everybody's taking breaks for the weekend, seems like.
Yeah, it was surprising to see a couple of weekends be so sparsely populated, and then some random Fridays or even Wednesdays be so popular. But I guess that just shows that this community is very active and eager to play and doesn't really need to resort to these last weekend plans. But yeah, as we said, we had our final 8. What you don't see on the screen is the Quatility versus Yanini quarterfinal that will be scheduled soon. The other 3 matches are up there, and we will see each other in 3 days in one way or the other. Thank you everyone for watching. GG's to both players, and good luck to Quatility in the quarterfinals and beyond, potentially. Thanks to, I think TK set up, but Moo was the admin, so thank you Moo for adminning this one. And thank you, GK Punk, for co-casting with me.
Yes, thank you for having me, and good luck in your match.
Thank you. Yeah, and with that, until this, probably Monday, but hopefully one match gets scheduled before that. But until Monday, see everyone.